Max Holloway, Charlie Olives, two legends of the sport of MMA and two fan favorites of the UFC. But unfortunately, one of these niggas gotta go down. But hey, it's your boy DHP, and y'all know the rest, man. And hey, welcome in to my official UFC 326 preview show. Max Holloway, Charles Oliveria 2, the rematch for the BMF belt. Y'all know, for those that have been following my videos for a long time, I made a couple rants about the BMF belt. It's really just another WWE, boxing type gimmick belt. But to me, this fight is just, it's a super fight. It's a 5-round super fight for me. But this fight is also just a step closer to one of these niggas getting another shot, getting a rematch at Ilia Topuria. And then if not Ilia, get back in title contention with the lightweight belt. And also with Max Holloway, what he said on last night's pre-fight presser, he wants to be a 2-weight division weight class champ. So yeah, man, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira 2. I'm gonna go over the main card, and we're gonna talk about the fights, because this card right here, y'all, this is a main card, bro. Like I said on a reaction to the pre-fight presser last night, this card, with the niggas that's on this card and what they have accomplished and what they did in their fights, this card is going to set up for one or two things. It's either going to be a lot of finishes on this card, or it's going to be a lot of decisions. There ain't no in between, because yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go through the main card, and y'all, and the list of the names that I'm gonna list off on this main card, y'all gonna know why. So main event is Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. Then co-main event is Caio Borrello and Rainier de Ritter, RDR. Then the third fight is Rob Font and Raul Rosas Jr. Chee-wee-wees. Then the fourth fight is Drew Dober and Michael Johnson. Then opening the fight, the main card, is RoboCop and Bruno Ferreira. Like I said, those names I just listed, it's going to be one or two things. It's going to be either a lot of finishes on this card, or it's going to be a lot of decisions. There ain't no in between. And also Cody Garbrandt, he on the prelims too. But Max Holloway and Charlie Olives, bro. This right here, as far as lightweight is concerned, which we knew this shit was coming after Max beat Dustin. We knew this fight was coming, because Charlie Olives, obviously, he was just, he came off the loss against Topuria, and then he beat, what's his name? He was supposed to face Rafael Vazid, but then Mateusz Gamrot stepped in, and he beat Mateusz Gamrot. So I'm like, there's really no way that he's going to get an immediate shot at Ilia Topuria right away. So with Max beating Dustin, it was kind of set up for, Charlie Olives to take a side quest, side quest type fight. And ranking wise, it's set up perfect. Because if you go on, like I said, for those that have been following my videos for a long time, y'all know my philosophies with the fighter rankings. And based on logically what we see in the fighter rankings, and then, with Charlie Olives not getting the immediate rematch over Topuria, this matchup is perfect. This matchup is perfect. Now, the tough part comes in where you gotta dissect this fight and predict on who to win. Now, granted, I've been terrible at some of my predictions. Like the past couple weeks, I've been off of my predictions. Now, I've been right on some of my predictions, but this time I'm low. I've been saying it all week long. I'm kind of torn, because these two niggas is one of my favorites. Like when we talk about, and like I said, I'm not really a huge fanboy of anybody. I'm just a fan of the sport. But for the people I do support, that I gravitate towards, Khamzat, Charlie Olives, some would even say Ilia Topuria, because those that have seen what I actually look like, y'all seen me wear my Ilia Topuria shirt. I have a video with my Ilia Topuria shirt. So you can say Ilia Topuria, Charlie Olives, and Max Holloway, right? I'm torn, because this is a very interesting stylistic matchup, and it could be one of the best fights we will ever see in the history of UFC, or just in lightweight in general. But I can also kind of see it going the way Max Holloway beat Charlie Oliveira the first time around. And Charlie did get fucked up. If I'm not mistaken, he did get fucked up in that first fight. But there's something about Max Holloway at lightweight that's just, man, bro. It's like he's leveled up. Like he really leveled up from his power to his striking speed. Now, if you want to break this fight down to categories, I can say the cliche thing where, I mean, and Max, he even said it during the pre-fight presser. This fight is like, it really is low-key a striker versus grappler matchup, but Charlie Oliveira, he can strike his ass off too. But this is what I was going to lead to. Max Holloway, he's a better technical striker than Charlie Oliveira, which is crazy to say because Charlie is really patient and technical. But Max is you wouldn't even know that he's a good technical striker because he just overwhelms you. But if you really slow the tape down and look at his boxing, Max Holloway got one of the best boxing in the UFC. It's not the best, but it's one of the best. And I think if we going boxing wise, now Charlie Oliveira is the better kickboxer, but we going boxing wise, Max Holloway could definitely box at range. And I feel like Charlie, if they boxing on the inside, Max can get to his spot on the inside than Charlie. You know what I mean? I feel like Charlie would have to strike Max at a range, but Max is just so damn Max is so damn fast, you kind of have to fight him like Ilia Topuria did, where Ilia was kind of getting fucked up boxing Max at a range until he closed the distance and got on the inside and he just had the power just to stun Max. That's what Charlie really got to do for real. But oh man, Charlie, this is gonna be the same shit I've said last week and in a couple fights last week. I don't think Charlie can outstrike Max Holloway. He's gonna have to like stun Max Holloway and somehow get the fight to the ground and try to submit him. Cause there's something about Max Holloway at lightweight where I'm like, bro, this nigga just, I don't know if that loss to Ilya just pissed him off or embarrassed him, but since his second try at lightweight, Max Holloway just been fucking crazy, bro. I mean, just fucking crazy. And it started with the Justin Gaethje knockout at 300, then Dustin Poirier, the Dustin Poirier rematch. Man, bro, Max Holloway do look good at lightweight. I mean, I can only see, but the thing about Max is that I'm trying to think about, Max kind of held back against Dustin in that last fight. In Dustin's last fight, you can tell that there was some exchanges where Max kind of held back. Charlie Oliveira, if Max make that mistake on Charlie Oliveira is not going to hesitate to give some right back to him. Charlie Oliveira's not going to hold back. I really think, low-key, as I said, this card has the potential to have a lot of finishes or a lot of decisions. I think somebody's going to get finished in this fight. Whether it's Max, Charlie. One thing Max can't do is get antsy and try to trade, like seriously trade in the pocket with Charlie Oliveira. Because Charlie asked Max Holloway, I said Max Holloway, asked Michael Chandler, asked Dustin Poirier, asked Justin Gaethje. You know, if you want to exchange deep inside the pocket, Charlie could clip you and he could rock you. And that's really the only way for real. Max gonna have to, and it's crazy because I just said Charlie gonna have to box Max at a range, but now I think about it, he's gonna have to box him on the inside. He's gonna have to do what Ilia Topuria did. You know, try to somehow, some way, try to close the distance on Max and then stun him, and then Rock will stun him with your power shot. But other than that, Charlie Oliveira, he's definitely gonna need to get this fight to the ground, and because Max really, you know, Max ain't really got no good bottom game, or he ain't got no good bottom game. his jiu-jitsu, like, Max Holloway is not no damn jiu-jitsu practitioner. Like, and that's where Charlie, if we go into striking, if we break down the categories, cardio, Max Holloway, speed, Max Holloway, power. Now, power is kind of, I give it to Charlie Oliveria. With Max Holloway, since he came back to lightweight, his power been fucking crazy. And then, you know, striking wise, Max is a little bit more technical than Charlie Olive's, but he overwhelms you with strikes. And going back to my boy Charlie Olive's history, you know, if you overwhelm Charlie Olive with strikes, you can beat him. You can definitely beat him. But then we go to the grappling department, that's all Charlie Olive's. That is all Charlie Olive's. I feel like whoever could get to their most comfortable spot first will dictate who's going to win this fight, to be quite honest. Whoever gets to their spot first, as far as their game plan, is going to dictate who win this fight. But also, it could be legit one of these fights where it go back and forth. Like that, and that's what it is with most of Charlie Olive's fights. Other than Ilya Taporia. It seems like Ilya Taporia, he just, Lord Jesus, we'll get to him later down the road, but that shit still haunts me. And it's crazy because I have the shirt of Ilya Taporia knocking out Charlie Olive's. Y'all see, those that seen my last video, the video before, y'all seen that Ilya Taporia shirt I have. This nigga Ilya just be flatlining niggas. Like, Ilya Taporia realize be flatlining niggas. Every nigga that he face, he be flatlining them. And back, I'm not trying to laugh. Well, I'm trying to laugh through the pain. But it's like all these niggas that we a fan of, Ilya Taporia just be flatlining them, boy. I'm telling you. But, and that was one of the key things going back to the last Charlie Olive's fight. That was one of the main things I wanted to see. Like, how is his chin going to hold up against Mateusz Gamrot? But Mateusz Gamrot, and credit to Charlie Olive's, but Mateusz Gamrot didn't do a fuck thing. You know, but Max Holloway, I guarantee you, one way or another, Max Holloway is going to test that chin. And that's what I'm kind of worried about is, yeah, he escaped. Well, actually, he dominated and did good against Mateusz Gamrot. But it's kind of like Mateusz ain't really a huge indicator of how. Well, they got the call going again. Mateusz Gamrot ain't a true indicator on how Charlie Olive's chin after Ilya Taporia. Max Holloway is really going to test that chin. So it'll be interesting to see how Charlie Olive's deal with Max Holloway's barrages of strikes, because Max do be overwhelming a lot of people. He be over, especially when he's in this flow state and he gets going in a rhythm and he's boxing at the range. He's going to throw off like 5 to 7 to 8, you know, strikes in the combination before you get off one type shit. But for Max Holloway's sake, he needs to stay off the ground. That is one of the, if Max can keep this fight standing, I will give him 70 to 30% chance of beating Charlie Olive's. Because I just think when it comes down to, Max is going to be the faster striker. And then I'm still kind of worried about his chin, Charlie Olive's chin. But, you know, if Charlie Olive's get Max Holloway stunned and the fight goes to the ground, Max might be in huge trouble. So I can see this fight going to two ways. I feel like Max, and it's crazy because they talked about this in the pre-fight presser with Max saying, you know, they asked Max a question, what's the, you know, the thing you can do to Charlie Olive, the most baddest motherfucking thing he can do is submit Charlie Olive, and the baddest motherfucking thing Charlie Olive can do is knock Max out. But Charlie Olive's, he can rock Max, but it's more likely Max beat Charlie Olive striking wise, and then Charlie Olive's just get Max out of here with the jiu-jitsu. But I'm gonna take Max. I'm gonna take Max, and I'm gonna say third round TKO. I might be off, but you know I'm gonna go out on a limb. You know, put my prediction out there, right or wrong. I'm gonna say third round TKO. And dare I say, well, as I said with the Brandon Moreno and Lanier Kavanaugh fight, I will go on record saying this fight will be on the fight of the year candidate list. Guarantee you, this fight will be on the fight of the year candidate list. When we come back in December, you know, late December, when all the fights is over with, because I don't think UFC gonna do like they did like years ago. Like that one year we had Cyborg and Holly Holm like December 31st or December 30th, something like that. We're gonna have probably like our last event or pay-per-view like mid-December, and that's it. So when we come back late December, Max Holloway and Charlie Oliveira will be fight of the year candidate. Not number one. Well, it actually could be, but it's gonna be on that list. Co-main event, RDR and Caio Borrello. Like I said last night on my other platform, my Instagram, this in both ways. By the way, Instagram, y'all know what it is. Y'all getting the 20-minute version of this. YouTube, y'all getting the full version. RDR, Caio Borrello, it's a must win on both sides. On both sides of the equation, but for different reasons. Caio Borrello is a must win because of his camp. Now, the fight nerds, they starting to get back in the rhythm. You know, Carlos Paredes, he's buzzing more than ever now that he knocked the fuck out Leon Edwards stiff. Then Gene Silva is back on his shit again. So Caio Borrello, it's time for Caio Borrello to get back on his shit. So momentum-wise, especially from last year, y'all seen my videos last year, Fight Nerds was just taking an ass whooping after ass whooping after ass whooping, back to back to back. And this is why, you know, we made the videos about Mauricio Rufy leaving and going to seek help elsewhere. Now, Fight Nerds is back on their shit again. They got the momentum going. So far, they 2-0 since the fucking... I mean, if you can count Mauricio Rufy beating Rafael Fiziev, that's 3-0 as 3 bounce back wins. If you count Mauricio Rufy, I still count him, so it's gonna be 3-0. Caio Borrello, momentum wise, from what they've been through to what's happening now, he has to win this fight. And RDR, he has to win this fight because how his last fight ended. I feel like, and like I said in the video last night, Caio Borrello, he can kind of lose this fight and he'll still be fine. RDR, he cannot lose this fight at all. I feel like it's more of a must win for RDR than it is Caio Borrello. Just because how that fight with Brennan Allen, that was rough. That was rough. And I fuck with RDR heavy. That was rough. The way he got out grappled and out wrestled like that. And then on top of it, he basically just quit on the stool, basically. Yeah, that's not a good look, brother. Like, niggas would rather have you go out on your shield than to quit on the stool. And I think that's for, like, any combat sport. You know, it's one thing to get your ass whooped and your ass beat, and then, you know, you just have to take it on the chin. But it's another where you just outright quit. And it's like... I remember I was hearing this shit as a BJ Penn fan growing up. I was hearing that shit about BJ when BJ quit. You know, if I'm not mistaken, that fight, he was quitting standing up. You know, the nigga went back to the corner, was, you know, slouching down on the cage, quit, you know. So I was hearing that shit for a minute. Now niggas don't talk about that now. They talking about him coming back and just being a shell of himself, but... niggas was talking about that for a cool minute. So RDR, he has to rewrite the ship to, you know, and KO even said that shit on the pre-fight press. They called him the quitter. Like, that stigma is not a good thing to have in the sport of MMA. So RDR, he needs this one badly. Now, stylistically wise, RDR should win this fight. And it's because KO, now RDR, he's gonna get pieced up, but RDR's style is to basically just, it's more like a Khabib type nigga where he come at you reckless abandonment, but his whole game plan is to just clinch you up, wear you down on the cage, take you down, and do what he got to do on the ground, whether it's submitting you or ground and pound damage. Now, Varela is a much more technician when it comes to striking. Like, he's a technical striker. So RDR cannot go in reckless abandon like he did against Bo Nickel and Robert Whitaker and Brendan Allen. He low-key cannot go in that reckless because he's going to get countered the fuck up. I can honestly see this fight going with RDR just coming in and KO Borrello just catching with a nice counter, and it actually drops RDR. I don't know about knocking out, but it would drop RDR and KO could get a TKO finish. I can see that happening more than any other scenario. Could RDR submit KO Borrello? He could, because it's fucking RDR. But stylistically wise, RDR is in a much more favorable matchup because KO just like to strike and shit. But you know what? KO, I'm gonna say KO. This is another tough one for me too, because I can see this shit going either way. But I feel like KO Borrello, he should take this. I wouldn't say should, but I feel like he can take it. He can take this matchup because I feel like RDR is gonna be he's gonna be too aggressive, where he's gonna make a lot of mistakes, and KO Borrello, he's gonna force him to stand. And RDR, he can strike somewhat, but he's not. His main goal is to get your ass on the ground and just wear you out and shit. I feel like KO Borrello is gonna be one of these fights. It's gonna be like a more entertaining version of Tyron Woodley and Damian Maia, where we may see some backpacking going. RDR might get a hold of KO, might do a little backpack, but at the end result, KO is gonna stuff all that shit and force RDR to fight and stand up, and then KO just gonna pick him apart. But if he start getting the rhythm with them damn knees to the body, that, you know what? To tell you the truth, that fight might be that might be like so handily dependent on if RDR can do some body work. Cause that nigga, he finished Bo Nickel with the knees. He tore Robert Whitaker up. Robert Whitaker, I never seen Robert Whitaker get torn up like that off some body work. Like, them knees to the body, what RDR was doing to Robert Whitaker, that shit was hurting Robert. That shit was hurting him. So, I can say all this and that, but once RDR start entering a flow state with them damn body knees, bro, then that shit be really landing on KO. KO might be in trouble. KO might be in trouble with that body work, boy. Oh, man. But I'm taking KO, though. I'm taking KO. Stylistically, RDR should take it, but I feel like KO, he's going to force RDR to fight and stand up, and KO just going to pick him apart on the feet. Rob Font and Chi-Wee-Wees. Rob Font and Raul Rosas Jr. Let's be honest. Raul, at this point, he should win this fight. He should win this fight. Rob Font is not in his prime no more. He's still like highly competitive. Like, he's still competition, but he's not in his prime no more. Like, prime Rob Font might give Raul some big problems, but Raul, he just a more faster fighter. And once he get robbed to now, the question is, because Raul is a relentless grappler too. Raul, he's gonna shoot in relentlessly too. So if Rob Font could stuff a lot of those takedowns, it could go Rob Font's way because he is the better boxer. But Raul, he's gonna be too relentless, bro. dare I say, he might get a first round finish with Rob Font. He might. I might, yeah, I'm gonna throw that in there. First round, rear naked choke, bro. If he don't get him out of there in the first, he's definitely gonna get him out of there in the second. I just don't see how Rob Font could win this fight. Cause he's a better boxer, but stylistically wise, I just don't see Rob stuffing a lot of those takedowns. And then once Raul gets a hold of Rob, Raul don't fucking stall. Like, he goes to work. And when he goes to work, it ain't nothing you can do. So I'm gonna go Raul Rosas Jr. Drew Dober and MJ. Low key, this fight could steal the show. Low key. Out of any fights on this card, this fight could steal the show. Cause both of these niggas, they gonna bring it. Now, MJ is the better striker, but MJ is not smart, bro. Like, MJ's IQ is like off. So I'm picking MJ to win this fight because he is the better striker. But I'm already knowing when they start exchanging inside the pocket, MJ is going to do some stupid shit and he's probably going to get finished, bro. I can already tell. Drew Dober, he ain't no slouch, bro. That nigga can strike his ass off too, and he got power to go with it. I think, didn't they say at the pre-fight presser, Drew got the most knockdowns or most knockouts in lightweight, and MJ got the most knockdowns? So this fight is really dependent on who's the first to land a power shots, basically. But I'm picking MJ to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Drew Dober won. It's one of them 50-50 pick'em fights. I think I seen the odds before I hit record. I think if I'm not mistaken, MJ is like a 112, like a minus 112. Drew Dober is like a minus 108, I think. Or I know it's a minus 112 and a minus 108. You can flip-flop the names, but basically they saying it's a pick'em fight, which is basically what it is. But not stylistically, but MJ is a better striker, hands down. He's just a better striker, but his IQ is lacking. So now we go to the opening card with RoboCop and Bruno Ferreira. This fight right here, RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez, I legit see him as a top threat at middleweight. But at times, he's just so stiff. He's just so stiff. It would be interesting to see how Bruno Ferreira deals with his with RoboCop's boxing at a range. But I'm liking Bruno's recent rise to the rankings. I like his recent rise to the rankings and stardom. So, man, this is a tough one too. All these fights low-key tough to predict because they stylistically, all these matchups from Max Holloway and on to RoboCop Bruno Ferreira, all these matchups stylistically is perfect matchups for bangers. And going back to Bruno Ferreira and RoboCop, man, I can see it finishing this shit too. I like RoboCop just for the power and the range, but Bruno, with his recent rise to stardom in the rankings, he's showing growth with each fight. Now RoboCop is the more experienced fighter, but at times RoboCop, he fights so stiff. Well, I feel like Bruno Ferreira, if they exchange in the pocket, I feel like Bruno Ferreira, he can get to his spots more. I feel like he would be the much more twitchier fighter and a twitchier striker. But if Robo lands that flush shot on Bruno, it might be it for Bruno. Oh boy, this is a tough one. I'm gonna take Bruno. I'm gonna take Bruno in the second round TKO. I'm gonna take Bruno in the second round TKO. So what's that? One, then MJ and Drew Dober, Rob Font Raul. So really the only Really, the only fight that I have going to a decision is KO and RDR. That's really the only fight I have going to a decision. Max Holloway and Charlie Olives. I got Max, TKO, and Charles in the third. Raul, first round rear naked choke. Drew Dober or MJ to probably, let's say, second round knockout of TKO. And Bruno Ferreira, you know what? I'm gonna go with second round. I'm gonna go with second round TKO for Bruno Ferreira. But yeah, man, this is a banger card, bro. This is a banger card. Honestly, just based on paper and the stylistic matchups on paper, 326 might be the best. 326 might be the best pay-per-view that we've gotten this year so far. It might damn well be the best so far. But yeah, man, that concludes my my official preview show. We got one more night of sleep, and then it's fight night, y'all. So until my review tomorrow night, I'll go ahead and get out of here, y'all.